Today we are doing my 9 road trip tips. So these are my 9 tips to road tripping with children, with kids. Hey guys, it's me, Brittany Baldwin. I'm here. I'm tired. I'm doing this. I don't know why I always say filming videos for Sundays. It's like the last thing you want to do at the end of your day on a Sunday is start filming. I have to find a better schedule. Any YouTubers follow me? What do you do? What is your schedule? Put a video out and tag me in it. Let me know. Okay, so my name is Brittany Baldwin and I run a website, a blog over at BrittanyBaldwinBlogs.com. I give you all my best mommy tips, my homemaking, my parenting, some lifestyle stuff that I have really found useful throughout my time being a mom of 2 so far. And I really like having a YouTube video where I reiterate my tips that I have over there, because I know a lot of people like listening to some of these articles rather than reading them, and I am one of those people. The minute I have a problem in my life, I head over to YouTube. What are the solutions on YouTube? Today we are doing my 9 road trip tips. So these are my 9 tips to road tripping with children, with kids. For me, these tips are specifically for toddlers and babies, but you can throw any age into this mix and they are great tips. So what brought on this blog post was I recently traveled up north for a week of cottaging with my 2 kids, with my best friend and her kids. So we had 5 kids under the age of 6. It was mayhem. Oh my, I have never felt exhaustion like that until when we got home, I crashed. Oh my gosh, kids don't sleep right when they're not in their own beds. They don't sleep the same. Even though they were gassed, they wake up at 5:30. 2 kids, one of mine, one of hers, were up at 5:30 almost every morning. Morning! Okay, tip number 1 is travel at bedtime if possible. So this means have kids in jammies, already bathed if you're gonna bath that night, have your car packed, load them into the car and start driving. They will fall asleep with the lull of the car right away, and then you can have a peaceful drive. Maybe download an audiobook before you go, a podcast, listen to YouTube videos if you have unlimited data, which is what I would do. So we had actually done this on one trip up to the cottage a few years back. We left after dinner, and the kids passed out, and it's about a 3-hour, maybe a 3.5-hour drive, depending on your stopping. So that is a nice road trip length to leave at that time because you're not staying up all night. Now, if you're going to be staying up, it's maybe a 17-hour road trip. Maybe this isn't the best idea. It might not be a best idea if you're driving alone. Like I was driving alone this time. My husband didn't come up with us. So there's no way that you can toggle out with someone and they can drive if you're starting to get tired, because that can happen. But depending on the length of your road trip, this is a great tip. It's peaceful, no one's yelling, no one's screaming. Leave at bedtime. Okay, my second tip is have a backpack with all the essentials. This can happen one of 2 ways. One way is you have one backpack for the entire vehicle up with you, or you can give each of your kids their own backpack with their essentials that they need, and they can take care of themselves in the back seat, which is also really great. My kids are a little young for that, so that's maybe if your kids are, older than 4 or 5, you could do that. So my essentials for having in the backpack are snacks, preferably healthy, not all junk, because tummy aches can happen and then energies fly through the roof and we have too much sugar. I mean, don't deprive the kids. Give them some M&Ms for crying out loud. Also in your bag, you need some toys. So this is if you have toddlers. So I had a toddler and I had to pack some color magic markers. I packed some of her doctor's kit so she can pretend to be a doctor, to her teddy, which was also in there, her sleeping teddy in case she got tired, things like that. Or you could pack cards if your kids are a little older. They could maybe play Uno or go fish in the back seat. So that's a really great idea to have in their bag. In your essentials bag, I would also put a diaper changing pad, wipes, and diapers. So the reason why I say the diapers and wipes are they're pretty self-explanatory in case you have to change a bum. But the diaper pad I recommend in case you just want to quickly pull over at a rest stop not go in, not do a whole stop, put the kid in the back seat or put them on the bed of your truck, change their butt. So I did this on my road trip. It's the middle of COVID-19. I didn't want to go into these stations unnecessarily. So I changed my son on the back of my truck. I put down my tailgate and changed him right there. And I was so thankful I had the changing pad. So I would also recommend, if you're traveling in winter, maybe some of the neck pillows and a small blanket, because it does get cool back there and you don't want to be cranking the heat because that makes you tired up front. So along with this would also go like teddies. If they need if they're a special teddy or a special blanket to fall asleep, I would put this in their essentials backpack. And obviously phone electronic chargers, like your chargers for everything. We don't need dead iPads in the middle of a 24-hour road trip, okay? My next tip is fully utilize your rest stops. Don't stop and have one kid go to the restroom or stop and get a snack for one kid. Don't do that. When you stop, everyone's out of the car, everyone's in a bathroom, everyone is making sure we have our snacks and our water and everything set, and also get gas. This way, you will be able to stay on the road longer until your next stop. Do a once over of everything, have everything you need where you need it, and then start driving again. My next tip is organization is key. When you are road tripping somewhere, there are tons of things you don't need. You probably don't need access to your suitcases or things like that. Put that on the bottom and put anything that you might need, like your essentials backpack or maybe your pillows or your blankets, put that in an accessible part of your car. So for me, before we left, I made sure there were drinks in everyone's cup holders. We had our electronics plugged in and charged that needed to be plugged in and charged. I had the essentials bag up front ready with snacks so I could, while driving, still hand off some snacks. What else did I have set up? Oh, and I had my daughter's toys in the back seat waiting for her, so I didn't have to worry about that. She could just play with the toys as she wanted to. My next tip is have a garbage bag handy. I packed just a handful of grocery store bags that we had used previously, and this made it seamless. It made the car stay so clean, because even if you think there's gonna be no garbage, there's garbage, okay? There's wipes that you've used, what else did I have in garbage? The garbages were full, both ways. I filled my garbages. So garbage bag handy. And just throw it out at the rest stop when you go. My next tip is pack a lunch, or pack your dinner, or pack your breakfast, whatever meals you're gonna be on the road. Pack as much as you can food-wise so you don't have to stop for meals. My family has always done this when we road tripped. As a kid, we road tripped out east a lot in Canada to Nova Scotia, and we've also road tripped down to South Carolina, and we actually get one of the coolers that you can plug into your car and keeps your sandwiches cold, keeps your drinks cold, your snacks. So some great ideas would be, we've always done sandwiches, hummus and cut up vegetables or cut up fruit, maybe some chips and dip, or cheese snacks if you have kids, like the little Baby Bell cheese. It's just really nice if you're especially on a long road trip to not be stopping and getting junk every time. And also it's just a great way to save money and stay healthier. So pack your lunch. Okay, this next tip we learned the hard way, and that was pack a puke kit. Sometimes you don't know when this is gonna happen. So it actually didn't happen to me, it happened to my best friend. And as she had left, she was about 15 minutes from her home when her daughter started saying that, I was on the phone with her and she just said she wasn't feeling great and her tummy felt funny. And sure enough, she was gonna throw up. So she had to immediately turn around. She had to get gravel, she got a puke bag, and I think she got her a ginger ale, I'm not sure. So my recommendation is to have this puke kit set up and ready to go in your car. So pack your kids' gravel, maybe even an adult's gravel, because I do get road sick if I'm not driving. So gravels, a bag in case they have to, sometimes you just puke. I mean, I don't know. And maybe a ginger ale or some ginger candies too can really help if someone in your car gets car sick, and it sucks, but have that bag packed and then you're not scrambling and going looking for Shoppers or a CVS or something in the middle of your road trip. My next tip is packing a potty. So a potty that kids go pee in. Like I said, we traveled in the middle of COVID-19. So I changed my son on the back of my tailgate, and I put my daughter's potty next to my truck and she peed, and I cleaned it out after with bottled water that I brought. This way, we were not going into any restaurants. We weren't exposing ourselves or other people if we were carriers and didn't know it. And it just made the whole trip easier. Also, when kids are freshly potty trained like my daughter, they do have to go a little bit more often. And you might not want to go in to the rest stop every time. It's just a lot of effort to park. And if you're traveling with kids, I was alone. So I'm pulling out a double stroller at this point to go in, or I just took her out of her car seat, plopped the potty on the ground, and she went pee. No one knew, no one cared. It's kids, no one cared. My last tip for making your road trip easier with kids is pack electronics. If they have iPads, download shows off of Netflix. Make sure that there's everything they like to watch. Get them their little headphones and let them play with their electronics. Don't be a hero, okay? Don't do it. You can limit their screen time next week or something, but just let yourself have peace while you drive. It can already be a little stressful if you don't know where you're going or you're traveling by yourself. Give them their electronics. Now, I don't recommend giving them to them right away. I personally waited until my daughter was about this far away from having a meltdown, and I said, oh, look what I found. Max and Ruby on an iPhone. Do you want it? And yeah, of course I want it. And she was silent the rest of the drive. So I do save electronics until they're a little crazy, but don't say no screen time for the drive. Come on, Mom. Don't be a hero. Okay guys, so those are my 9 tips to making your road trip with your kids better. This is just what I came across. Like I said, this blog post happened pretty organically. My best friend and I had traveled and we were talking about our drive, and I was like, man, these are all great tips. So I threw them together. So like I said, head on over to BrittanyBaldwinBlogs.com, get some great free principles, some other great articles on how to make your life just a little bit easier. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can actually be notified when I upload. And please leave me comments. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. I don't care. Let me know. I'll chat with you. Okay, guys. Bye.